this morning. It's raining. It's very peaceful. I actually love rain in the morning. Always makes me want to stay in bed, cuddle with my dogs at this point, which is great. I love my two dogs. I have two Shih Tzus. But I actually did have to go outside and rescue my skid loader from the rain, so I left it open last night when I got out of it. And of course it decided to pour really, really hard while I was out there, and so I got completely soaked on my way back in. But I was just sitting here contemplating the last few years and how much a human can transform in that short time. Well, I'm still me, but I'm a much different, better version of me than I was 3-4 years ago. As I sat down, I noticed that I had dropped a card on the floor while I was picking things up last night, or maybe even during a reading I was doing. That is the Moon card. The card of introspection, intuition, the things that we don't see. Always a good card to contemplate. It's the number 18 in tarot. 1 plus 8 is 9. It's the number of manifestation. Brings you back to yourself near the end of the journey, near the end of the cycle, when you actually have to see yourself so that you can close the cycle. So I feel somewhat compelled just to do a quick reading. You'll excuse me, I have no makeup on. Well, I probably do have a little bit left on from yesterday that's possibly giving me raccoon eyes now, but that's okay. And some of the Honor lipstick that doesn't come off unless you get a scrub brush. I thought I would just do an energetic check-in, maybe with the Moon card as the base, the energies that we possibly don't see, that are, maybe we'll ask for what is supporting us, what is hindering us, and what would be in our highest good. This probably won't be very long, but I hope that possibly there's something in it that benefits you in some way. If it doesn't resonate, leave it. It wasn't meant for you. Leave it for those who it is. So we would like to see energies that are possibly under the moon, not quite clear to us, or that we are hiding from ourselves. So I'd like to do 3 down lines. One for the first one, for the energy that is obscured to us. A second one for the energy we don't necessarily want to see. And a third one for the energy that if we saw it would be for our highest good. So let's see these 3 down lines, please, Spirit. I'm just going to lay them all out at once. Last shuffle, Spirit. Okay, 5 of Pentacles. Temperance. Ace of Cups in reverse. 6 of Cups. 10 of Swords. The Moon in reverse. We don't want to see what we don't want to see. King of Swords. Knight of Pentacles. 7 of Cups in reverse. The Hanged Man at the bottom of the deck. 3 of Pentacles. Page of Wands. Okay. start over here with this Five of Pentacles, and again, this reading is headed up by the Moon card, the things that we don't see, that are obscured, or that we possibly don't want to see, and what it would help for us to see. So starting with this energy that we maybe don't see, that's a little obscured, we've got the Five of Pentacles. And the Five of Pentacles is a card of feeling left out, not considered, abandonment, isolation. And sometimes this isolation, abandonment, well, always actually, it starts within us. It's in some way we're abandoning ourselves. And this is in the mental energy. And in the heart space, then we have, let me move them over so you can see them better. And these cards actually have words on them, so they're pretty cool. If I can get it to focus. So that's the Five of Pentacles and mental energy. And then we have Temperance, peace, tranquility, balance, patience, harmony. And Temperance is the act of alchemizing the energies that are within you and tempering them against each other. Which I can tell you, having done a lot of temperance, because it does take patience. It's not, it's really not that peaceful. Harmonizing the emotions within you, the spiritual energy, the passions with the love isn't always the most comfortable thing. And then in the last card, in the spiritual energy, we have the Ace of Cups in reverse. And in the upright, the Ace of Cups is about starting a new beginning, about opening up, about being inspired intuitively and spiritually to go forward in a new beginning in love. And so the Ace of Cups in reverse is basically just the opposite of that, which is feeling shut off, closed down, maybe hesitating to start something new, hesitating to start a new beginning, or to even just open up if it's not a new beginning. Because in the next card, or the next downline, in the energies maybe you don't want to see, don't want to look at, that you're hiding from yourself, is the Six of Cups. And Six of Cups are always our precious memories. They're the people that we've known for some time, often soul bond energies that we come to learn a lot with, and they have a really special feel. Every Six of Cups relationship is a little bit different, but all relationships are intimate spiritually. And so the Six of Cups is just someone that you feel nostalgic about when you think of them. And then that's in the mental energy. So you're not really wanting to think about possibly a past relationship. And then the next card out is the Ten of Swords. In a lot of tarot decks, it'll be a person face down on the ground with 10 swords in their back. And it's just a feeling of not being supportive, not being considered, and stabbed in the back and left for dead. So again, a card of abandonment. So there's definitely an element of abandonment within this. And well, the Five of Pentacles in that first downline indicates physical abandonment. Like there'll be some 3D things that go along with that. This one in the heart space is about just taking too much on and being exhausted, and that's in the mental activity. And a lot of those thoughts that will cause that feeling of betrayal, because a lot of times that's what the Ten of Swords is about. It's about being betrayed. That always has to start with us. A lot of the swords that are involved in that betrayal they begin in our own mind, not just in the minds of the people that we're connected with in the Six of Cups. And then in the spiritual aspect, which is kind of funny because that's exactly what we were saying, was that we were going to look at the things we didn't want to see. And in the spiritual energy, the Moon card coming out in reverse is about the things that we are hiding from ourselves. It's not about the illusions and what is hidden. It's about what we are actively actually trying to suppress within us, which causes a great deal of confusion, of course, and unwillingness to look at how we got here spiritually is the way that we stay there for sure. That's how we keep those things hidden from ourselves. And then this last downline, the way out, or for the highest good, is to, in the mind, take the information that is necessary, go in and introspect on all of this, all that's happened in the past, the abandonment, the being left out, and introspect on what was my part of that. How did that get set up? How did I invite that in? What aspect of myself is unhealed and is still abandoning myself? And if I show up differently, then I could get a different result. It's like, that 10 of Swords, that is a 10. That is the end of a cycle. And so that cycle can end if we'll look at it. And the King of Swords, he says, give me all the information. And when I have the information and I've gathered it, I'm going to make a concise decision on how to move forward. And then I'm going to go forward in a new way. Because the king is going to take ownership of his mind and the situation and go forward in a powerful way. He's a king. And then the next card in the heart space is, once that process has been done in the mind, I'll show you this King of Swords. It's a nice card. Then the next one in the heart space is the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles isn't going to move fast. He's going to go real slow. But he's going to have a plan. And he's going to execute it perfectly. He's not going to back down or stop until he has achieved what he set out to achieve. Then the last card out is the Seven of Cups in reverse. And the Seven of Cups is about choices. And it can be a card of confusion and imbalance, as the odd numbers always are. And it's about illusions, about not seeing things clearly, about the things that, if I did this, then my life would be better. And that thing is outside of you. The Seven Cups are outside of you. If I select this lover, or this partner, or this friend, or this other family member, whatever it is, then things will be better. But the cups are generally above you. You can't really see them. You can't see into them. You can't see the future of them. And it's really about understanding that if you don't change how you're showing up, all of those cups are going to end up with these same feelings being created in whatever the relationship is. It's really the relationship within yourself. If you can learn not to abandon yourself and what you need, and control your mind and direct your mind towards the things that you actually want, then that Seven of Cups will transform itself right up, honestly, into a Nine of Cups and a Ten of Cups. Wish fulfillment and actual fulfillment in love. And the overall energy is the Hanged Man. So the way to get clarity is to go upside down. It's to spend time, take some time, and introspect about all of the things that made up these feelings that we would like to hide from a little bit, or that are a little bit obscured. And the Three of Pentacles, I actually love this card. The Three of Pentacles gets some higher learning, gets collaboration with someone who possibly has been down the journey and has closer to a life that you would want to have than what you're experiencing. That I would always say about having a mentor, is get a little bit more clarity from someone who's been there. I think I would like to look at this, just a couple of cards over here. I'd like to look at this Ace of Pentacles. I'm sorry. Ace of Cups in the spiritual energy. That's what I'm most interested in. We might just clarify the spiritual energy quickly. Really doesn't want to start, does it? Alright, one more shuffle for this Ace of Cups in reverse in this first downline. My sleep music, I just realized, is still playing. Wow. Really, really doesn't want a new beginning. More temperance is definitely required before this heart space is ready to spiritually start a new path, I would say. Can you show us this Ace of Cups, Spirit? Ace of Cups, please. Show us this Ace of Cups. Well, there's a lot of them that want out. Page of Pentacles, make a small investment. Make a small investment. Learn some things about, once you've done some temperance, learn some things about yourself in your heart space. And then make a small investment forward. Take a small risk. Pages are little guys. They can't do a lot, but they're a good starter. You can't fully open up, just open a little. Four of Swords, rest on it. Take some time to rest on it. Rest the heart. Okay, and then I would like to look at this. Actually, I'll look at this Ten of Swords too. The Six of Cups is pretty straightforward. Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords to the Ten of Swords. So stuck in your head a little bit about it, about the pain that's in your heart. The Nine of Swords is just about being up late and not being able to sleep and just a lot of anxiety. It's really the card of anxiety, mental anxiety, which is really where anxiety is born. So to clarify or to go forward from the Nine of Swords and to get out of this Ten of Swords energy is the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords, she like the King, is going to want all of the information. Explain to me what's going on. I need to gather the information about what you did, what they did. How does this come together? How did this get created? Okay, she's going to see it, and then she's going to say, okay, so with compassion and understanding and receiving, because queens are about receptive energy, they're feminine energy. It doesn't matter whether you're female or male, we all have male and masculine and feminine energies within us, and it is important to understand that they have their roles. And so in a compassionate way, this queen is going to go forward and she's going to say, we have to make changes, starting in here and here. We've got to get control of these painful thoughts, and we have to redirect them by seeing the truth of how we created this situation so that we can put these thoughts and the potential to create them again behind us. Okay, let's see this Moon card in reverse. Spirit. What else? What else? And Four of Pentacles. Okay, so holding on to the blindness a little bit. This is always a holding card. It's not really a card of meditation. It's a card of actively suppressing really a little bit. And it's a 3D card. It could be actually holding on to whatever this connection is or in some aspect. But holding on to the illusions about the aspect, about possibly it's a relationship. And that goes also for the relationship between you and you, because your biggest Six of Cups relationship is the one you have within you. And then the Ten of Pentacles. Do the work. Do the work so that you can then have the fulfillment in the 3D that you're really seeking, because the Ten of Pentacles wouldn't come out if that's not something that spiritually you want to reach for, that is important to you. The Ten of Pentacles is fulfillment in the 3D. It's the family. It's all your foundational things. The children, the house, the dogs, the cats, whatever your animals are. It's having all of those things, and it basically abundance, because 10 is the end of a cycle, so it's abundance. I think we understand this King of Swords and what his job is, but I would, and the Knight of Pentacles, making that plan and from the heart going out and taking that plan out. But I would like to look at the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups. Spirit, can you show us the Seven of Cups? Knight of Cups. No, that's the Eight of Cups, I'm sorry. Eight of Cups, Page of Swords. Anything else? One more round, anything else? Knight of Swords. The Moon. That's funny. Okay, so the first card we have out is the Eight of Cups, and if you're starting with the Seven of Cups, the Eight of Cups is a good movement forward, and that's just understanding that there is not enough love in the situation. You're not giving yourself enough love. You know, you're putting yourself in positions by not loving yourself enough that possibly being abandoned, both in the mind and in the heart, in the 3D, can happen. And so moving towards that Eight of Cups would be the understanding. You don't want to stop at the Eight of Cups, you want to keep going, but you have to make the changes required at the Eight of Cups, which is moving away, moving to quieter pastures, at least in your mind and in your spirit, so spiritually, so that you can, even from the same situation, shift the energy enough to attract more, so that you don't abandon yourself, and therefore they can't abandon you either. If they continue to abandon you, then you may have to leave the situation altogether. But I would never suggest leaving a situation, leaving a relationship, until you have learned the lesson that is in that relationship to be learned. Because if you take an unhealed heart and spirit into the next relationship and mind, you will repeat the pattern, and the next time it will be less fun, possibly with someone that you don't have a precious connection with, and then it is a real struggle. It's a much more uncomfortable struggle then. Okay, and then the next card out was the Page of Swords. Investigate, spy on yourself, get in there, and really look at what your mind is doing, how it is that, because your mind is creating the majority of your life, while your heart is drawing back to you those things that you are thinking and speaking about. It is your mind that is directing the energy of them. So get control of your mind, investigate what it is saying, and get control of it. And don't hide from yourself. The Moon card, again, this is the third time that this card is in this reading. So really, it's about not hiding from those things that you are creating, and taking responsibility for it. Let go of the illusion. Stop running from yourself. It's really easy to blame, and the blame game is quite lovely, because blame does feel a lot better than guilt. Energetically, it's much higher vibration, much higher frequency, so it feels better to blame someone and make it their fault. But until you will take responsibility, and I'm not saying I don't want you to live in guilt, that's not it either. You actually want to reach for hope that it can be, hope that you can show up different, hope that you can see the pattern and then you can change it. And then by doing the work to go in with that little page and investigate on yourself, and understanding that you also weren't giving yourself enough love. It wasn't just that person's fault, but also you aren't either, or they would have had to show up differently. But doing that investigating, and it's uncomfortable. I know it's uncomfortable, but it's really important to do it, so that then you can move up to the place of knowledge. And once you have knowledge, which is what this guy's about, it's about getting the knowledge. It's about the wisdom. Once you have the knowledge, and you can see both sides dispassionately, where you're not triggered while you're considering it in your mind or speaking of it with someone. You know, this second card here of collaboration or in higher learning, having a mentor. You're not so triggered about it, where you can actually see it objectively. Then from that space, take that truth, the Knight of Swords, take that truth and go forward. And the Knight of Swords is not going to back down from the truth. He is, you know, as an oracle, he's going to take the truth, and that is exactly what he is going to stand up for. That's what he's going to fight for. So I think that actually, that last little bit was really beautiful. I think I'd like to get just a couple of cards for this Hanged Man. What would be the advice with the Hanged Man and that Three of Pentacles? that are in the overview. And there's a Page of Wands under there too, which is Investigate High Priestess under that. Intuition, things that we hide, or things that we have to actively go see. And I think the Moon card and the High Priestess together, honestly, are two of, for the intuition, the strongest cards. You have to ask for the information that is being hidden from you, or that is obscured from you. You will have to ask, and you will get everything you ask for. You always do. You just have to actively ask. So, could we have a couple of cards, maybe for further clarity on the Hanged Man, Three of Pentacles energy? Ace of Wands, Page of Wands, Ace of Wands. That makes sense. Anything else, Spirit? Queen of Wands. Temper your passions. Control. Anything else? Is that good? Last round. That's it. How did you get reversed? Oh, it's a card with nothing. I'm not really sure why it was in the deck. Still. Seven of Pentacles. A little bit of growth. Grow something. Okay, so at the bottom of this deck we have the Seven of Pentacles, and that's about planting a seed and then slowly nurturing it and watching it grow. And death. Death, anytime there's a death, there's a transformation. Death to this Seven of Cups. I love the Death card because you can't transform anything if you don't let the old pattern die. The old pattern has to be seen and slain in order to move forward in a direction that is actually going to be really beneficial. So we have the Ace of Wands to clarify this Hanged Man energy and this Three of Pentacles. And the Ace of Wands, that's about a new beginning from a very passionate nature within you. So getting in there and getting passionate about loving yourself, getting passionate about not just seeing the pattern, but knowing that you can show up. You can go back to that youthful energy of a fool and start again in a way where you can open up to your own passions, because we came to be passionate beings. We didn't come to be knocked down and live in melancholy. Interesting, the birds are starting to sing as I'm saying that, and I don't know if you can see, but the sun is actually coming out. I'm going to go outside with my coffee after this and smell the rain. I love the smell of the earth right after it rains. Okay, and then the last card out is the Queen of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles is, she's the queen that most definitely has boundaries and will stand up for her own right in a very passionate way, stand up for her own needs. So I think it's interesting, but she's not overly aggressive. You know, it's a feminine energy. So it is about standing to receive those things, and not in a bullying type of way, but in more of a, this is what I'm worth and this is what I expect. And, you know, I won't be treated in a way that isn't in accordance with this anymore. But at the same time, she's respectful. She's not going to shame or put down her king. You know, she's going to treat him with respect. She's in a very kind and loving way going to explain her position, but she's also going to defend it. She's not going to back down from defending it. And because she is, you know, the first place that really embodies that worth, that embodies the worthiness of that respect, she's not going to have to do a lot. Her presence, because of the shift within her, is going to be a lot of what shifts the level of respect that comes to her. You know, as far as the abandonment and these other things, these painful thoughts and possibly words, you know, that leaving you left for dead. So, and wishing you could make different choices. All of these energies I've experienced for sure in relationships. And I can honestly say that if you can shift that with that which is in you, the relationship will shift. And if you do not, if you allow things to stay stuck under the moon and obscured and just out of sight, and you hide them from yourself, because this is a card of I agree to hide, possibly a lot of times, especially in the reverse, as we saw. And we got this 3 times in this reading. that is going to keep the things that you don't like now coming to you. And because in relationships, the common denominator is always you. So it's the one thing that you have control of that you can change. And it's definitely the most important aspect to change. Anyway, this was kind of interesting. So I hope in some way that that helps you. And I think I'm going to go outside and smell the rain. Namaste. Be blessed.